right, good evening and welcome to the Air Conservation Commission meeting. It's October 27, 2016 here in beautiful Air Town Hall. Please join me for a pledge of allegiance to our nation's flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. What did I do with it? I had a pen. Okay. Why don't we start with our 7:15? We have a request for. Actually, let's confirm the agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda?
Brian sent me an email this morning that he forgot to put 80 Sandy Pond Road on the agenda for, it's an upcoming RDA, but he thought the homeowner may or may not show up tonight, just informally. Your Bill Farnsworth.
Okay. So these requests for certificate of compliance, is anyone coming here to talk about those?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Well then, why don't we put Mr. Farnsworth after our 7:25 public hearing for Jonathan Drive.
Okay.
Just take your pen for a second. Must be sitting on the seat in the car. Ooh, it's a nice one.
Do you need an extra one?
What was the address?
80 Sandy Pond Road, right next to 78, where we had the new house go in, next to the town beach. Yep.
And this hasn't been filed or advertised?
No, I think it's going to be on the next agenda.
Okay. What's the purpose of coming tonight?
It just came up, I just wanted to, well, it's just paving the left side driveway of my house.
Okay.
So it's an existing driveway that I want to pave, so I, under the gun, kind of the weather.
Sure. Okay. Were there any other changes?
Not that I know of.
Okay. So our next hearing is November 10th. Okay.
Yeah, that's 2 weeks.
No, I know, but
Yeah, it's not a 3-weeker.
I'm just not sure what we're going to accomplish, that's all. Okay. I would accept a motion to approve the agenda as noted. All in favor say aye. Aye. Okay. We have 5 minutes. Why don't, all right, let's take a look in here real quick. Do we have any account payable or anything?
Nope.
Do you know anything about this cease and desist for paving of a small, some work between a driveway and Route 2A?
That's on here, I believe. Michelle contacted Brian about that.
There's no address.
Yeah, I think that one's the 8 Hemlock, the very bottom. Yeah, it needs to have an address on it.
The very bottom of what?
Of his notes, the note page. I'll give you that.
There's no,
I put it, it's the very top, I have handwritten Brian's meeting notes.
nope. Unless it's attached to the back of this.
There you go.
Is someone here from 8 Hemlock? Okay. All right, well then why don't we reopen our public hearing for DEP file number 100-0396 Jonathan Drive.
Good evening.
Evening, Rob.
Robert Oliver with David Ross Associates. I had emailed a revised copy of the plan to folks. I neglected to bring extra copies with me tonight, but I do have my lovely colored up version.
But we all do have one in our little files.
Oh, okay, good.
These same ones.
Yes, that's the revised plan. So I'll hold it up for you to see. No, that's fine. Based on feedback we received from the commission at the last meeting, we went back and looked at the plan and made the driveway work on the other side of the house from where we had shown it previously. By doing so, we're able to eliminate any wetland alteration, the need for replication. We've moved the house slightly further away from the wetlands than we had originally shown it. The house is now roughly 7.7 feet from the corner, from the wetlands at the corner of the foundation. The second story split overhang is roughly 7 feet from the wetlands. So what we did is we took the driveway from this location, put it over here, eliminated this little fill that we had. In doing so, we got a little creative with the grading in front of the house. Since it's a split, we need a small 2 or 3 foot tall landscape block retaining wall on this location to end up with a walkout elevation on the house here. So we don't need to grade through here, but we need a short wall here to hold the grade at the front of the house back. As part of doing this, we are now providing boulders 20 feet on center. I tried to position them on the plan where it made sense in the corner. So here, 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 here. In between those, we're providing a pressure-treated post, short post with a conservation placard on it. So in between and then out to here, we're providing those as well. So to provide a visual barrier, reminder to the homeowner that they're not supposed to be going into that area, we're providing that. So we've incorporated both of those. Beyond that, in terms of the construction, we're providing orange construction fence basically from the clearing at the back all the way along the wetland and out past the driveway turnout here to be held up and maintained throughout construction to prevent access into the wetlands at that point, or at least do as best we can to call everybody's attention to not go past that point. As well as throwing a note in the notes to require a meeting with either the agent or the commission or both as soon as the erosion controls and construction fence are installed, to have an on-site meeting, more or less, and it's not specific there, but the meeting is intended to stress the importance to the site contractor and builder that, beyond that, construction fence is off limits. That was something we talked a little bit about Saturday. So all in all, I think we've addressed everything we discussed in terms of the deficiencies of the plan and in getting it to a point where I think hopefully everybody can live with some of the compromises we're making, but some of the changes we've made to kind of address the commission's concerns. So I can certainly answer any questions if you have any at this point.
Thank you. Jess?
Not at the moment.
George?
You see on here you have straw wattles and a silt fence. Did we discuss that?
We didn't. Is there a current preference of the commission?
We like the wattles. We're sort of getting away from the silt fence.
Yeah, I mean, I have both. We can certainly just do the wattles. It's up to the commission.
Do you have an opinion?
Given how close they are to the wetlands, I'm okay with having silt fence there. Because they will be doing some grading for the house on the outside. Right. In this case, I'd actually prefer to have both the
A backer.
wattles and the silt fence.
Okay.
Anything else? No. I agree with George, and we've been getting away from the hay bales and the silt fence only because the wattle's so much more conforming, and so that's been helpful. So,
We generally are using either the filter stock or the wattles.
Dr. Shi? Do you have anything else?
Not really. I'm glad to see that you have managed to take the driveway out of the little corner of the wetland there. So that's good. And you took all our comments and made an attempt to address them, so I appreciate that. I think it's a little better. That's it.
Okay. Ms. Tillotson?
So addressing the drainage off the roof, that been addressed?
No, I mean, we haven't. This is one of those sites, just elevation-wise, we're up against a wetland. There's really no opportunity to recharge. I'm assuming groundwater is relatively high. It's a wetland, so I think that's going to carry through the site. I am providing I'm calling it a recharge trench, but it's more to stop the flow and maybe catch any sediment coming off of the driveway.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's graded towards that turnout, and I have a stone trench at the end of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I am trying to address at least what's coming off of the driveway.
Mm-hmm.
The rooftop, I just really don't see any opportunity to do anything with it. This is one of those where that's really my only practical answer.
Okay.
Well, yeah, so I was going to say, well, there are a couple of options. You could do stone trench on both sides of the house.
We could, coincidentally, in town recently, we run into an issue with that with the building department, with the stone trenches along the foundation. We're trying to sort that out, so it's one of the reasons I didn't put them here.
What possible reason?
An interpretation of the building code and the grade from the foundation and grading away from the foundation. Essentially, he's looking not to encourage water in the area. He wants to get it away from the foundation. And essentially, when we use those trenches, albeit they usually work, we've run into a comment from the building department on that.
Okay. So are you going to use gutters and drain pipes?
I don't know.
We didn't plan to.
Okay. So we're at a conundrum. So, so the water's going to come off the house, and the stone trenches were there to give it a place to go, but now we're saying we're not going to give it a place to go, but it can't go there. So,
May I add something? We would typically.
Who are you, by the way?
Robert Pace.
Okay,
I'm the builder.
great.
Okay, we would typically put the stone in the front and back of the house regardless. Okay, we just lower it a little more.
I mean, we can certainly, you can even throw a condition in that we throw them in. I don't know that this will receive the same scrutiny as the other project that this came up on. So I'd be happy to have them. It's not a problem for me personally.
I mean, you know, there's, the other way to do it would be to do stone trench with a pipe in it that directs it over toward the wetland, just, I don't know what,
You're almost on grade though.
oh yeah, no, I understand. So I'm not sure what,
I guess I would offer we do the stone trenches along the foundation like we typically have done in the past, if that's.
can I see the plan for one second? The big one, so I can see the topo. Not knocking your water over. Thank you. Do you show backyard still at 254?
It's going to range from the wetland end of the house at the rear, basically at grade 250.5, and then sloping up the foundation to the far corner up near the property line at roughly 253.5. Existing grade down by the corner at the wetland in the back is about 250.5, and existing grade at the other end of the house is 254. We're cutting it about a foot on that side around the end. So the grade along the rear of the house will pitch towards the wetland.
Well, I guess to Bonnie's point, it would be good to have some sort of solution. If for no other reason, then it's probably to your benefit to get it away from the house anyway. What was the context that he didn't like the stone trench? I just don't understand.
I don't want to misquote the building code. It had something to do with maintaining pitch away from the foundation. There's even 1 inch and 10 feet. It gave a ratio for grade, and essentially he was saying, well, if you're using the stone trench, the water has no opportunity to pitch away from the house because you're catching it all right there. We do it in every town. It's the first time we've come into it. I would propose it here. I don't think we'll get caught up in that. This was a project with several units, and it was under review by town departments, and that came up.
We do that as a matter of course.
Well, I would too. I just don't want to also carry something on the drawings or make a condition that then you can't live up to, because then you have to come back for an amendment, and that just makes life harder for everybody.
Right. I'd be okay with that, actually.
Yeah, I'd be okay with it too. Okay.
So, roll the dice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we're gonna put that as a condition in the OOC?
Well, we have to have something. So,
It's just a drip edge, I mean, it's what it is.
Right. And oddly enough, I think the code also stipulates that you can't have mulch or other types of kind of organic material within 18 inches of the foundation. So that's why everyone's leaning towards the drip edges now. And that's a fire mulch, I guess, can
Yeah.
catch fire, and
Huh.
when it's
Yeah.
decomposing, it heats up and.
Yeah.
sure, but not in 3-inch lifts. All right, so
That's fine.
We're okay with it.
Condition for the trenches.
So the primary things that we look for in these instances are position of the house to the wetlands, how you're going to do everything. So we've already addressed those comments. There's a soil stockpile at the front of the house. Is that still shown there?
I show a.
Right down in the
stockpile
front?
In that corner of the driveway.
Okay, I didn't get one of those 8.5 by 11s. Believe it or not, it's not in this. It's not in here. It's not important.
Yeah, okay.
So
Because I put them in. It was-
I believe you.
Yeah.
So stockpiles up front. What's your plan for dewatering if you run into it?
What would you normally do?
We would use a pump, okay, and, okay, we'd probably dig a little sump like you would a well.
Within the foundation excavation, and then typically you would install a couple of rows of wattles and silt fence.
Yeah, usually we show it on the plan so we know where to expect it. You've got such little area here.
Yeah, I mean, it would.
Why don't we just say it's on the turnout? Because that way you've still got passage to the building. If you end up having to do dewatering, it'll be in the turnout.
Sure, perfect.
Okay, so we'll add that as a condition
Okay.
as well.
Say that again.
So temporary dewatering basin, not shown on drawings, to be located on the driveway turnout,
If necessary.
if necessary.
Yeah.
Well, it's the temporary dewater, so,
And
okay. So, to that point, we look for soil storage. Where are you going to dewater if you run into trouble? What's the plan for getting the water off the site? So you've got the trench down the bottom on the driveway, you've got the stone trenches for the gutters. I think we covered everything. Anybody else have anything else?
I just have one more comment. So, along the edge of the wetland, you have the boulders and signage. In terms of vegetation, do you have plans for
I mean,
any
it's-
type of vegetation?
We're not adding any now, the limited
Okay.
clearing, I mean, it's not dense, but there's trees,
I'm thinking rain garden, you know, to capture and to filter from the driveway, especially from the driveway.
I mean, that would require more clearing than what we're showing at this point. I
Right.
tried to limit it everywhere I could. The only place I really took a little extra was in the backyard,
Yeah.
just so they had a backyard.
Yeah, yeah.
It's too bad you didn't make the walk. It's very tight.
I'm sorry. I couldn't-
No, it's just,
Yeah,
it's
I
very
know,
tight.
I
You'd have a
know.
better sense of the
Yeah,
spot.
I know.
And I would say too, this is a 1 inch equals 10 scale plan.
Yeah.
So it looks bigger than it
Uh-huh.
really is. Typically, we do 20 scale plans, and it
Uh-huh.
would be half the size, and you get more sense of how it is tight in
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I mean, you know, there's certain things you can plant, like high bush blueberry, you know.
Well, one of the things that we were talking about on the site walk was trying to make sure that the new owner of the property understands the line, and
Yeah.
that's what the,
Okay, right.
the posts and the rocks are about.
Right, right,
so.
yeah.
That would be something interesting to take up on future discussions, but maybe to add to our toolkit to
Mhm.
say, it's an expectation.
Mhm. Okay.
I don't have a problem with it, it's just we don't have it as an expectation today.
Yeah, that's true, okay. Just putting it out there,
I'll keep that in mind in the future when I come
Okay.
back.
okay.
Anything else? You all set, Bonnie?
Yeah, I'm all set.
Okay. All right, so unless there's anything further, I would accept a motion to issue the order of conditions. Accept a motion to issue the order of conditions for DEP file number 100-0395, including the special conditions that we discussed regarding stone trenches for drainage, temporary dewatering basin. Is there a third one? I think that was everything.
So moved.
Second?
Thank you very much. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll start on that process. You'll see those in the email soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. You as well. All right, I'm going to look through one more time because I looked through, I even flipped through and it wasn't in here.
Okay. Because I printed out,
Here's why.
right there.
Stuck in the paperclip. Paper clips. Okay. This pile is very frustrating. Sure, it has nothing to do with the day. All right. Mr. Farnsworth, why don't we have a discussion? So this is an informal discussion, not a public hearing. You've filed for an RDA?
Yeah, well, I just put it in the other day. I don't know if it's actually got it filed yet. I just talked to Brian. My situation is, I'm right next door to 78 Sandy Pond, where they just built the, Bobby Garvin just built this house.
Okay, so if I'm facing it, are you the left or the right?
I'm on the right.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Once he got the house built, grade changed, we used to have a major problem with water running off Sandy Pond down between our two properties. It was like every time it rained, it was a major stream. But he, once he raised up his front yard a little, it stopped all that water. Because I was constantly dealing with it because it was coming right across my back property and just causing major erosion.
Mm-hmm.
Once that stopped, I looked at my driveway and said, you know what, I can probably pave it now because it makes it a lot cleaner and easier on that side. So I decided to pave it, called the paver, got a quote. Paver said I gotta go to the building department, went to the building department, went to Public Works, got permission from them, but they said I needed to talk to you guys, so here I am, and I don't know exactly, if it's gonna be a major deal, I'll wait till spring, because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to beat I just didn't know how his land was gonna turn out through the process.
Mhm.
I had no idea. It's in pretty good now as far as the runoff, and the hill's pretty mellow going down into the backyard. I think if you walk over there, you'll see it. I just wanted to answer any questions in case you guys can go over there in the next week or two, before the next week.
Well, drive by rather frequently and always stop to look at that house. So I'm very familiar with the house. You have the solar panels on the roof, right, in the front?
Yeah.
So, so our biggest issue with any kind of paving project is there's prep. So he must be scraping away and removing material?
I mostly, I had a little topsoil on the right side in front of the house, but most of it was already all gravelly anyway, so I did some handwork just to
Mhm.
get it ready for the paver, and they were gonna come in and do a, a leveling out kind of base coat. and then
Yep.
Paver, probably a day project.
So he's not removing any material at all?
It's all set, it's all pretty much graded, and there's no material coming out or any stockpile or anything. He's just gotta bring in some, they bring in some stone dust or something like that to put on top.
Yep.
I don't even think they'll bring in any kind of digging machines or anything. It's pretty much set, ready to
Well,
go.
if you've spread stone dust all day, you know how much nicer it is if you do it with a skid steer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what we're probably going to be looking for, just on the basis of the fact he is going to be moving material in some way, shape, or form, is we'd be looking for hay bales at the bottom, or a silt sack, which you can buy in a roll. They're pretty inexpensive.
Yeah.
Just something to wrap that back side of the driveway. So just literally come from the house right around the corner of where it's going to be,
Yeah.
and then that's what we'd be looking for prep.
Okay.
I wouldn't be too worried about the timing. You may already be too late.
Yeah.
It's already cold.
Yeah.
Um,
They told me they were getting borderline, some shoulder.
Would I be more, so, it's been 34 every morning for 3 days in a row. I don't know if you're familiar with asphalt, but typically they bring it out, it's 400+ degrees in the truck. So.
Yeah, I'm quite familiar. I know that he told me he's right at the borderline as far as being able to do anything. So I didn't know if I could avoid all this and just get it done.
Well, I guess the problem is that of course. When did he say, did he tell you he could come in next week?
Yeah, he's ready to go. He just needed a answer. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to get in trouble.
No. We appreciate that, and
Yeah.
it's also because it's good to have this discussion, because if they're gonna put stuff there, I can tell you right now, it's gonna end up down the bottom of the hill, no matter how hard they try,
Yeah,
if you don't put a silt sack there.
yeah, it's running down right now. I got stuff down the bottom that's not been down, so.
So based on the limited project, does anybody have an issue with Mr. Farnsworth putting the silt sack in at the bottom and doing the paving? If someone was able to take a look at it before he did the paving? Anybody have any issue with that?
No.
It's out of order, but, we'd like to work with you, Bill, because it's a tough time of year.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Is the driveway area staked out in any way, shape, or form?
Yeah, it's very clear where it is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So have you seen the silt sacks? Have you seen what I'm talking, do you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
well, I can do that, or hay waddles, or any of that.
You can do either one, whatever works best for you.
Bobby's got them on his property anyway, so I know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
So we can even talk to him about where he got them. I'm sure he just got them right up the road.
Yeah, I know where to get them, yeah.
So what we would be looking for, so is this your copy or ours?
That's Brian's copy.
All right. So. That's all we're looking for, Bill. Just come from the corner of the house
Yep.
and wrap right on the bottom.
Okay,
That's all we're looking for you to do.
all right, perfect.
So if you can do that before they get started,
Yeah.
we'll let Brian know. And then if you can let Brian know, leave a message. Is it best to leave a message or email, you think?
Probably
email
email.
him,
I
so,
think he's very.
Okay.
good. Or-
Excuse me, if you can email Brian and let him know that you've put the hay waddle in place.
Yeah.
That way he can take a peek at it before he paves.
Yeah.
If you can send an email to Brian and say, the hay waddle's in place, maybe even take a picture of it.
Yeah.
Hay waddle's in place, here's what it looks like, and they're coming to pave on Thursday. And that way, at least we'll know what the process is.
All right,
And then we'll catch up with you on the 10th, we'll make sure that everything went fine, and it'll be a piece of cake.
all right, great, I'll let the town know, Public Works know that you guys are all set.
Yeah, so the only thing you might run into trouble with, so we're gonna let Brian know, the only thing you might run into trouble is because we haven't formally completed the hearing,
Yeah.
you don't have the paperwork that says that we're all set. What we'll do is we'll let Brian know so he can communicate to them if they have any questions.
Yeah, all right, great.
You can let them know that we were trying to help you to make sure that you could get it done before the weather turned on you.
Just for clarity, do we want Brian to go out and look at the?
I would certainly like Brian to take a peek if he can, I just don't know what the schedule's gonna be, that's why I'm hoping you'll let him know by
Yeah,
by
I'll get-
email.
He's
I'll
in
get
next,
I'll get them right out.
yeah, he's in on Monday and Wednesdays next week, so if you could get it ready so he could look at it one of those 2 days, it
I'll have
would
ready
be in your
after,
interest.
this weekend.
Yeah.
It'll be all set.
If you can do that, send him an email on Monday, that way you're all good to pave after
Yeah.
that. But please make sure that waddle should be in place before you pave.
All right, and, do I have to be here at the November 10th meeting?
You do, because that's the formal hearing to
Someone
talk
has
about the
be
work.
here to get the- all right.
It'll go quick.
I'm gonna get-
It'll be more about you
I'm
showing
gonna
us
get the
pictures of
name,
it.
So I'm gonna have to come back down, so.
Well, if you can talk your neighbor into coming in, that'd be fine too. He can work as your representative.
I'm sure Bobby would do that for me, since I've been very patient with him.
Well, there you go. There you go. I'd throw that out.
All right, I will.
Thank you very much,
I
Bill.
appreciate it, thanks a lot.
Have a good night.
Thank you, you too.
I drew on it.
That's good. Where'd you draw? Oh, just that thing?
That's it.
I do it in blue.
Sure. So I'd swear we've been in this backyard before.
Well, probably when we were looking at the other, but
No, I think we were in this backyard for another application at one point. Either this house or the house next to it.
I don't remember.
I remember.
I think it was because of the dogs. That's why, it was because of the dogs. We were in their backyard to look at their dog.
Huh.
Why else would I have walked around in their backyard?
You were fishing.
No, I never get out of the kayak. Then you're a shore fisherman. I don't want to do that. Okay. Why don't we, from here, why don't we jump backwards to our request for certificates of compliance? So,
And I think
by Brian's,
here, some things get messy. On Pingree Way.
well, let's see. So let's take the first one. So the first one is 100-130. Really? 130? That's old, huh?
Yeah, very old.
Pingree Way.
Across the road from Pingree Hill, somewhere.
Is that a typo on the 31 Pingree Way and 31 Pingree Way?
I was wondering that.
Should be a different address.
Well, at least they both say lot 27 and lot 31. So as long as the DEP file number is okay. So let's start with, so this is,
Might be.
Bruce Holmes. This is,
Yeah.
B.
What?
The hell's the name of that? The
Bennett's Brook?
Bennett's Brook.
Yeah.
All right, so this is Bennett's Brook. Did we do this one? I don't remember this. Before you?
This is back in the 90s.
This is Bennett Crossing? Is it? Or?
Is it called Bennett's Crossing now?
I don't know.
I just know it was called Bennett's Brook back
Oh,
then.
Maybe, okay, then, is there another one
Bennett's-
called Bennett's Crossing?
Brook Crossing? I don't know.
In the street?
No,
the
the
neighborhood.
The neighborhood. Drive by it all the time, never look at that sign. I'm always looking the other way to see what's running down the street.
Me too.
Does it say on there?
To begin with.
This, Rob brought this in.
Is that what's in here?
No. This one is a different one. Brian went through the files and there were things missing. We officially.
What?
Yes,
Sign it.
It is Bennett's Brook,
yeah.
That's what I thought it was.
2008.
Bennett's Crossing, that's the name of the street.
Gotcha.
There you go.
Alright.
There you go. Bennett's Crossing, Robbins Road, Pingree Way.
Yeah. So, Rob brought this one in, which has more detail than we had in the file. Because Brian had talked to him, and so Brian asked him to bring in a copy of what he had. So,
Well, this is exciting. So we said they were 27 and 31? So here's 31 up off of this. I'm not sure this plan actually shows the ones we're looking for. 36, 37, 38, this is beyond it.
31?
That's weird. But 31 on this side shows on the other side. So this, oh, it's flipped around. Okay. This map is backwards for the road
Rob's
locus.
map. Okay.
No, this map is backwards to the locus.
Okay.
See? Here's north pointing off the left side of the page, and here's north painting off the right side of the page. You shouldn't do that when you have a locus map.
Oh,
Okay. So, here's 31, and here's 27,
We'll show it again.
which, if we're over here, is 27 and 31. Well, it's just irritating as all get out. So, this is this. Okay. So,
Where's that, 27?
right here, which is right here. which also should be the upland. Why does it say that it falls off on this side? 280, 275? Really? So this says that it's wet down below, that there's a replication area back there. I don't remember this at all.
Well, it was before your time, too.
No, but we've been up here, remember? So the beaver dams are over here.
Yeah.
And so when you drive up here, Jacob's friend lived over here, one of these houses up here. I don't remember this being wet on that side of the road when I drove by it. Makes sense that this side of the road would be wet because that's this side of the road. So, anyway, so here's 27 over here. And it says that it's wet behind it to the point where they added a replication area. Okay.
So
31 is farther up the hill
Yeah.
and doesn't appear to have anything except it's right on the edge of the FEMA 100-year floodplain. What's this dashed line unless this dashed line is the buffer?
Riverfront.
Riverfront.
Interesting. Oh, so you know what? The riverfront is from this side. Doesn't seem like it could possibly be, but it would have to be. This is the river over here. There's no river over here. Let's grab that USGS. Woo! Unless Bennett's Brook curls around. Okay, here we go. So Bennett's Brook is here. Those aren't the houses, it's actually here. It's actually right in this area here. So there's Bennett's Brook. There's no river behind it unless it's this. I don't think we're that far in. Maybe we are. Maybe we're so far in. Just lost it. Maybe we're so far in that this riverfront is, this 200 feet is from this over here. Wait, did I just mix myself up? I did, sorry. I flipped it around to make, this is so irritating. So, what this is saying, here, let's do this based on the locust map, right? So based on the locust map, here's Devon's Crest, here's Shaker Mill Pond, right here. This is Shaker Mill Pond, this is where the entrance is, right? Right where the dam is. You come in here and you curl around. So, you would have to go all the way back here in order for, because this riverfront, there's no way that this is 200 feet, within 200 feet from here.
Right.
No way. So it would have to be this spur off here, creating a 200 feet from the other side. Okay. Did Brian walk these? Wait, let's see.
I don't believe so.
I thought he had. Thank you so much. Let's not go too far with it, who knows? Whose was this? This is, Brian gave to you?
Ron gave me that to give to Brian.
Very nice of them. Thank you. This must be the third one?
And that's what Brian had in our file. That's all that was in the file.
That's interesting.
Oh, he did go out and look at it because he was looking up the property line between one lot and the next, and he didn't want to go onto the property, so he couldn't actually walk up to the replication area. He said he could see a little bit of the difference, but he couldn't tell what it was he was looking at from the street.
It's interesting that the only two people coming to us are the ones that have replication areas. That's weird. Okay. Here's what I'm going to recommend then. Based on the fact we have actual honest-to-goodness replication area, let's see what his note was. So, 100-130, which is 31 Pingree Hill.
Pingree Way.
Pingree Way. Here's the other one. Funny, that's why he wrote them down. They're both typed up as 31 Pingree Way.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so one is supposed to be 27.
Oh.
Is it?
I don't know. The
No.
names are the same.
Okay.
What?
So the names are the same. The mailing address is the same. Okay, so hold on. So we keep working our way down. Located at Bennett's Brook subdivision, located at 31 Pingree Way. Lot 37, parcel 40. This has none of that information. But down here it says where it's recorded. And here it says lot 27, 31 Pingree Way. This one says lot 27, 31 Pingree Way.
So we're a bit confused.
Well, it just doesn't line up.
Okay.
Now, there is, of course, one thing that's possible is that the reason that the certificate of compliance is issued to, I don't know if Yasuki is a male or a female name. Anybody know?
What is it?
Yusuke? Y-U-S-U-K-E?
Sounds female.
I just don't know whether to say Miss or Mister. I'm just going to say,
Is that a last name?
no, I assume it's a first name, and then it's
First name.
Kanamori. So these folks, the Kanamori and Itos, okay, they're listed as both at 31 Pingree Way. So maybe they own both houses, and that's why they're listed at the top as 31 Pingree Way, which throws it off.
Oh.
So maybe they live in 31 Pingree Way, but they bought two properties. Maybe it's a love story. Maybe they met, they lived a couple houses away, started with, yard raking and leaf mowing and,
Do you have the files on that too? No?
No.
So our problem is that quite frankly, we can guess that one of them is 31 Pingree Way because it very clearly says down here, the project is located at 31 Pingree Way.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. But this one just says the project is located at Bennett's Brook subdivision. So I don't know what to make of that. And it's got different file numbers, so I wonder if one
is
is
for
the
the road.
property and one's the road.
Right.
And they're both for 31 Pingree Way.
Do you want me to text Brian?
Well, if he's in his flowers meeting, I don't want to interrupt that. I think what we need to do, we clearly need to get a better handle on these. So let's see what he wrote. He said 100-130. Hard to say. As you can see on the plans, the replication area is not well demarcated. Without getting onto the land, as I only did a curbside inspection, it's very hard to say if anything ever happened there. We have a request for a COC on file from 1999 and no paper trail suggesting why it didn't receive a COC. Were you there in 1999? At the same time, would you tell me if you were? At the same time, I don't know what would be accomplished by withholding the COC. Who would actually do the replication if we needed one? But then, so that's DEP file number 100-130. Then he says for DEP file number 100-73, Becky had done an inspection for partial on this one in the past and saw no issues. Back in 2014, I did a drive-by as well and see no reason not to grant a partial or even a full on 100-73. So the only question is, if 100-73 is the subdivision, we can't grant a full unless
Yeah.
I guess, who would we grant it to? At this point, we have to grant a partial to each property.
Yeah,
That's annoying.
right.
Okay. And then there's a third one here, which is Samantha Lane, right? Completely unattached to these.
Right.
Where the heck is Samantha Lane?
You know, before you turn left on the town beach, it's on the right.
Next to what's his name, the guy in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Just
yeah,
before you
yeah,
get to
yeah.
the-
Mark
Filardi.
Filardi,
Yeah,
right. Is this that first house at the corner?
yeah.
This is the one with the lady who came in and met with us.
Yep.
Do you remember that night?
Yeah, yeah. She did, putting in like a retaining
She put the
wall.
retaining wall in, and then her son and his girlfriend sat back there, and she said, well, I didn't know if you people would find out if I did it or not, or something like this. It was the funniest damn thing ever.
I think I was still brand new on the
Do you remember that? I just,
Yeah, I remember
there was an actual head fall. It was just beautiful. It was one of those things where I don't know how he didn't laugh, but
yeah.
Okay, so I guess what I would say for 100-73 and 100-89, oh, sorry, 130, I feel like we just need to better understand what those projects were.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And I would also say that we need to reach out to the Kanamori and Idos and ask them if we can have permission to walk on their property. I mean, I assume we have it, but we should probably schedule it.
In my opinion, a request for certificate of compliance is basically a request to come and take a look at my property. so that-
I would agree with you as well, and I also
But it doesn't
understand,
have to get
right.
verbal or written, confirmation that someone,
One of them's from 1999.
Well, that's,
Things may have changed out there.
well, I guess that's interesting, right? So this says, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. We have a request for a COC on file from 1999, but these aren't from 1999. This is the new paperwork.
Well, I think on that, there was, we got a new request. That's why this has come up, but in the file, I think there was an old request that it was never acted on. And nothing in the file.
It's just
suggested-
odd.
Yeah.
Okay. So are we correct in assuming that this was brought in recently?
Yeah.
Okay. So while I agree with Takashi that they said, come look at our property, we should probably do a follow-up and, leave a note even and say, we're going to inspect your property on X, Y, Z.
Okay.
Just so there's no confusion or concern later. Okay, so now, based on this, we know this is 31 Pingree Way, which of course we don't know with any certainty that 31 Pingree Way lines up with lot 31 on that. Because this also said, didn't it say lot 27? Something said, here, lot 27 and 31 Pingree Way. So I'm not even sure we know what house we're supposed to be at, unless it's 31 Pingree Way. I don't get the lot 27 and 31 thing.
On the map, were they locked?
They're not next
I
to
mean,
each
are they
other.
adjacent?
No, and you know what's funny? They weren't.
No.
They're down the road from each other. It doesn't say lot 27 on here anywhere. Where did he get lot 27? He put it on the agenda,
Yeah.
but it's not on their certificate of compliances until you get here, partial certification, lot 27, 31 Pingree Way.
Yeah.
Okay. So, if that's accurate, then 31 is at 27. But. So I think we need to know where we are,
Okay.
see how it applies to the plans, and what the replication area was. Brian, so I think where Brian was headed with this, probably most logically is, as he writes here, who would actually do the replication if we needed one? And the appropriate answer there is the homeowner.
Answer is what?
The homeowner.
The homeowner.
Well, they're the ones who own the property, and they have an existing order of conditions, and if the order of conditions isn't fulfilled, we can't sign off on it, and so maybe they can sell their house anyway, but, I don't know if that's what they're trying to do. But, that's one of those things they would be on the hook for. Okay, so I am disinclined to sign off on partial certificates of compliance for 100-130 or 100-73, partial or full. And I also, if it's the house, I don't know why it wouldn't be full.
Right.
although one of them did have a drainage easement on it, so I don't know if that would.
I see that map one more time now that as we're digging deeper into this. Let's see where lot 27 falls in the easements. And again, George, the plan
Could be
is,
tied to the. overall
backwards to the locus.
Structure to the.
There's lot 27.
And it has this easement here.
Yep,
drainage easement.
existing drainage easement. Interestingly, with no structures in it. And it says that's the wetland line. Edge of vegetated wetlands, typical. Okay.
And Brian hasn't seen this map because Rob just brought it to the meeting tonight.
So if we're reading it correctly, lot 27 is 31 Pingree Way, and that's where he needs to go. If we're reading it correctly.
Okay.
If we're understanding the paperwork they presented us.
What's the scale on this?
1 is 20.
All right, so if this is the edge of the wetland here, then these lines, well, this line and so is
But
it
don't forget, this is on the other side of the road, so this is saying that there's a wetland behind it,
Yeah,
which incidentally didn't show up on your USGS.
right.
And it's saying that there's a river behind that, which did show up in your
Well,
USGS,
it's
which
not
might
saying that.
explain this.
But Bennett's Brook runs, I think it runs under the street
Because where does it
And
say
th-
riverfront
and
area?
through here.
George said it's
If you
the,
look
Oh,
at
you
this-
got the
Says-
legend up there.
yeah.
Ah, yeah.
so wait a sec, George holding back information. So the dotted line is 100 foot, and this hard dash line is 200 feet.
Okay, and
So the
this,
river is over here.
and this
Yeah.
is the 100-foot
George,
buffer
you're
zone.
saucy. So,
Okay, and so this line is the 100-foot buffer. Yeah.
okay, which means that, that's why this is 100 inside of 100. So if that's 2 inches, 40 feet plus or minus, that means that this is the buffer and the river is here.
Mm-hmm, it makes sense. Yep, because it runs under the road somewhere. It makes sense. it
Isn't that
runs
odd? They
under
didn't, they
here.
didn't locate it, but that would mean it would be something like this.
Yeah,
Well, and then, yeah, and then to your point, it jogs, because look, there it is, bumps out,
yeah.
or, sorry, bumps out. So, 100 feet, 100 feet. Well, there you go. Okay. So, now we figured that part out. The entire house is inside the riverfront area, inner and outer. It's got a wetland behind it. It is downhill from the property above it, 279, 276, 271. This is actually at the toe of the slope as you get to the wetlands and the river before you reach the bridge. That's interesting all in itself. Okay. So, the road actually comes up like this, so as you drove in, you drive like this. You come through here, you come up around, and the circle's up here. Because that's this. Which means the bridge is here. Okay, well, maybe that makes sense. Okay. So did you capture what we were trying to do?
Not at all.
I forget where we are.
So our point is that Brian should go to 31 Pingree Way, leave them a note that says that he's going to return to do an investigation or inspection of the rear of the property.
Okay.
He's going to bring this map, Plan L4766, dated February of 1998.
Which map is it?
Plan L4766, Lima 4766.
That's Rob's.
Yep. He's
Okay.
going to bring this with him, and he's going to take a look at the area of the house, the replication area, etc.
Okay.
As far as the roadway is concerned, if that's truly what 100-130 is, no, wait, the other one.
It's got to be the earlier one.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it's got to be, I've got them here, 100-73. If the road is 100-73, I'm inclined to accept it, just in the fact that by this point, the town has accepted the road as a subdivision, has accepted the subdivision with this road.
but we're not sure it's that, right?
And it just makes sense for us to double check and figure that out, because this, unlike the subdivision plan, is not definitive. This just says Bennett's Brook subdivision, it doesn't say what it is. Let's see if maybe there's another tidbit. No, there's nothing.
All right, so Brian, because Brian, it sounds like in his 2 notes, he did go to 2 places.
Well, and that's what,
but
right,
we're
and I
not
think,
sure what 2 places
right, I
he
think
goes
he's,
to.
I think he's, well, He says Becky had done an inspection for a partial on this one in the past, saw no issues. That was in 2014, so we just need to know what the heck 100-73 is about. Okay. I feel we are, thank you, sir. I feel we are seeing part of the puzzle and not the rest of it.
Can I ask a simple question? Why would they be asking for a partial at this point in time and not a completed?
Well,
or
let's see.
A full,
For their property, it doesn't make any sense unless there's something wrong. I can't imagine. Maybe they just checked partial on both of them and they didn't understand.
okay.
Partial on this one's fine. Maybe they just clicked partial twice.
And some of the things in the past, way back, the orders of conditions were for like a whole subdivision or whatever.
Yep.
And if the developer didn't get a certificate of compliance for the whole thing, then individual homeowners wind up coming to us later.
Right, especially if there's more than one
I need
lot.
a partial for mine.
Okay.
They can't ask for it for the whole thing because the whole thing isn't theirs. but-
I see, that makes sense, Yeah,
So-
that makes sense.
And it's possible that this guy did, that this person did the subdivision as one, and then did like a whole bunch of replication and everything else that extends across multiple lots.
Yeah.
That could be the reason.
Yeah,
Who knows?
that makes sense.
We've gotten used to the fact that
Yeah.
Mr. Mulaney and other people who come in here now do individual lots, so.
Right.
Who knows what they did back in the day when the dinosaurs roamed the earth. Okay,
So-
next up,
So we have
so-
to do Samantha Lane.
hold,
There's a wetland back in there?
what's Chesterton?
Pump seals.
What?
Oh, do you know that?
No, he said club seals.
Oh.
All right. So Samantha Lane, so
It kind of sound like it.
I don't even want to know what pump seals means. All right, so this is for a complete cert. And Brian's notes say 100-089, we did a partial on a different part of this property earlier this year. I did drive-by then, nothing was of note, still nothing of note. That's right, didn't we do one that's at the
At the
top?
back.
At the way back.
Yeah.
So is it the stream that goes over the road and goes beside Samantha Lane and then comes out over at the,
Yeah, and Velarde's property.
Yeah.
It's between the two.
But does it go under there?
Yeah, it goes under the road.
Can you pull out the old USGS? You know what? I can't know. I don't know what we did without this. I think we have literally started to wear your USGS map out at these meetings alone.
That's a little tape campus.
Okay. So here is Flanagan Pond. Here is Snake Hill Road. Interestingly, here is where Samantha Lane would be, and it's not shown on this plan. So what also is not shown is the water that comes under here and then goes through here. So unfortunately, that's not on here.
If you hadn't turned that off, we could pull up Google Maps.
We could do that.
Mm.
Do you know the passwords? Do we?
Yeah, the password, right?
I used to.
All right, well,
I do, yeah.
okay, here's what I'm hearing. So I think we all know when you drive by there what the resource area is. It's that stream.
Yeah.
So at this point, nope, that one. Thank you. I remember passing up there. There's nothing at the back of the hill. It was just the area at the bottom where the water comes across through. So he says he drove by. There was nothing of note. I don't imagine there's anything with that house.
Did you say what the work was for?
Well, this just says it's a partial certificate of, it's a, whoops, sorry. There was a partial. This is a complete certificate of compliance for Donna Michaud.
Okay, here's a question. If the whole street is under one order of conditions, can we do a complete for an individual homeowner?
Well, that certainly does bring up a question because this says that it would be a complete or full complete certificate of compliance for 100-89, but the certificate of compliance was issued to Woodwright Construction Company, and we just did a partial, so I don't know that we can do a full.
Hold?
I don't know, there's another choice. I mean, I guess the only question is there more than one property affected by that outlet there?
Yeah, I think it is. It's a condo. There's multiple properties right there.
Well, not where we are.
Oh, you mean on 3 Samantha Way?
Correct. So if you were at the town beach
Uh-huh,
and you were out in that parking lot getting an ice cream,
uh-huh.
and you looked across the way, there's Mr. Velarde who has all the split wood in his
Right,
yard.
Right, right.
Then between him and the next house, there's water that comes from across the street. Okay?
To the right.
To the right of Mr.
Yep,
Velarde's
yep,
house.
Exactly.
This house, we believe, is to the right of that water.
Okay.
Because this is number 3 Samantha Lane, Unit A,
Mm-hmm.
which is interesting. But I'd swear this is the same lady, Donna Machad, that we saw the first time.
I think she might have sold and moved.
That's the house.
Yeah. Because,
That's 3?
Yep.
Where's that?
let's see.
No, show Jess. Is that must be the next house up the hill then? This can't be the lady we met.
Okay.
If that's
Hmm.
the right address.
Don't know. Can't tell. Because in the last fall, there was an issue of, Mark Velarde had a big pile of wood chips,
I remember.
and I think the person on the other side of the stream put up some fencing, and then went and looked, and Brian had them negotiate a settlement. But it didn't sound like the person at the other side was that woman anymore.
No, okay. So, all right. So number 1, we need to understand the nature of DEP file 100-89. We need to know if that's for the entire street, because if it is, so then let's think about that. So is there any reason to not issue a certificate of compliance for the road?
Not that road.
That Samantha Lane?
Yeah,
Well, you didn't go up when we did the partial at the top of the hill?
top of the hill.
I don't
Yeah.
remember that.
That's what Jess is talking about. We had a partial up at the top of the hill of Samantha Lane.
Deanna?
That's what I thought.
That was some couple who lived in Groton and had been trying to.
Yeah, and the lady said she was trying to sell the house and she
Yeah.
wanted to, and it was completely away from the wetland.
Yeah. I don't know
The,
that we saw it. I think Brian might have. Did we go up there?
I think we looked at it on Google Earth or something. I think we actually popped it open that night and said, oh, here, oh, for goodness sakes.
Yeah.
Totally away from the
So we
water.
didn't do a site walk.
Yeah, totally away from the, so
Yeah.
I'm thinking 100-89 is the whole road. I think we need to find out.
Okay.
But that does bring back the other question, which is, so we were just talking about this. So if you have an entire road with 50 houses on it and the road has an order of conditions on it because as it enters the property, it's affected. If you issued a complete or full certificate of compliance, do all those other deeds get notified or do we have to notify them individually? What's the reason to not say, hey, it's Tuesday. We have DEP file number 100-89, and tomorrow, if I were to go here, and I would see that the road goes up, and it has a circle at the top, and the only thing that we have is some water that comes across the road down below, and it comes through and it goes like this. Everything from here out is unaffected. Unaffected. None of their properties have anything to do with it, assuming that the catch basins, et cetera, are properly installed, et cetera, per the original application. So why wouldn't we go to all these homeowners and issue them a partial certificate of compliance for the roadway? Could spend a whole year just doing this, running around, figuring these out and sending them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
You think of a reason
Okay.
not to do that?
So we have to hold on that one. Figure out what it is.
Well, it feels like
Okay.
something that, quite frankly, if we could do, it would be swell,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Turn it in, make them all go away. be proactive about it, like you were saying the other day, George, proactive. Okay. So we need to better understand what the filing is for 100-8 now.
Okay.
So unfortunately, that's a hold too.
Okay.
Well, because we don't know what we're acting on.
Right.
But
I already wrote hold. Go ahead.
if we issue a full certificate of compliance, if that's showing up on all the individual properties, then we're gonna make all those people go and file this on their deeds.
Well, so that brings up the interesting question, right? So when we issue a certificate of compliance,
Right.
so in general, that person is already trying to sell their house. That's the only reason anyone comes to us. Right. So I'm assuming that when we do that, their attorney does go to the registry of deeds and have it attached to their deed.
Right.
Okay. So let's say that you are one of the people up at the top of the hill and we send you a full certificate of compliance in the mail for the roadway. And it's the only thing that was attached to your deed for the property, for the project. So if you don't go and have it recorded tomorrow, does it get stale?
No.
So let's say that it's 2016 and I sell my house in 2021. Could I hand that to my attorney at the time and say, oh, by the way, you should probably record this?
If it's original, yeah. Or a true copy.
Right. So we could issue true copies to all those people and just say, you don't need to do anything with this now, but just know that if you were to ever sell your house, you're going to want to, record this and, have it attached to your deed so that when you sell the house, you can show that you've completed this work. All right. I guess I might want to double check, to Takashi's, point that, if they've got a real copy that they can give to their attorney, that we'd have to sign a whole lot of copies. Holy crap! But as long as there's no reason that it goes bad, no reason not to do it. If anything, it's a real benefit to the folks in town, and it would close out all those orders. Because right now we're at what,
95?
Right, 395.
Yeah.
So that means that somewhere out there's at least 390 that aren't closed out. Maybe 392. So this seems like a great thing to do if we could do it. Okay. So that takes us through all the COCs.
Right.
We had our public hearing. We talked to Mr. Farnsworth. Discussion of enforcement property transfer affidavits, and that is this. Dear applicant, recognizing the history of confusion having to do with property transfers at the Ridgeview Heights development, and the required affidavits that the new homeowner understands their responsibilities under the Wetland Protection Act, and the submittal of same to the Conservation Commission, the Commission has decided not to pursue any further action related to run-on sentences or these past violations of the order of conditions. However, going forward, we expect the applicant to adhere to all details within an open order of conditions no matter how many property owners have bought or sold said property. Responsibility for adherence to the orders lies with the applicant rather than the current, past, or future homeowner until such time that a certificate of compliance has been issued. Homeowners unaware of the order of conditions may violate the Wetland Protection Act and by their actions make adherence to the order of conditions more difficult for the applicant. Failure to adhere to the order of conditions may lead to enforcement actions. Please keep this in mind as properties are transferred in the future. Okay. Was this specifically going out to Ridgeview Heights?
Please edit the letter provided so I can put that in the mail next week. So he just wants our feedback on this.
Okay. So if it's going to Ridgeview Heights, I'm okay with naming Ridgeview Heights. If it's not going to Ridgeview Heights, then, if this was going to be some kind of form letter, then we wouldn't want to call out Ridgeview Heights. And is Ridgeview Heights the appropriate name? Isn't everything we get Crabtree Development?
Yeah.
Well, but at different points in the history of this project, we had different applicants. This is a confusing old project.
Yeah, but I don't remember it ever being Ridgeview Heights on the applications.
I think that was before your time.
Well, I was here when this started, young lady. I was out walking in the woods with my
Okay.
black lab when we did the first walk off of Snake Hill Road, before they excavated anything, or back when Snake Hill Road was a dirt road from the highway. Literally was. It was a very steep, remember? It was a very steep,
Dirt
very
road.
rocky dirt road before they opened it up and fixed it.
Yeah, one house.
Really?
One house.
Oh, yeah, that, I know that one, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Okay, so, to be clear, let's see what he says.
Second from the bottom.
Affidavit enforcement, please edit the letter provided so I can put that in the mail next week.
I'm confused. Who is the applicant?
I believe, and this is again the other question. So if applicant is any generic applicant coming up, then I don't like referencing Ridgeview Heights. If applicant is Ridgeview Heights or Crabtree Development, then it should say Dear Crabtree Development.
Right.
So I'm lost on the purpose of the letter,
I am too.
and I'm
Yeah.
lost on the recipient.
I am too.
Okay. You said Brian was in Monday and Wednesday, so what, on a related topic, I thought the full-time was supposed to kick right in.
November 2nd.
Interesting. Why November 2nd?
That's what Robert said.
Duly noted. Why?
I think one of the things was just technically, well, I'm just guessing. I think after it's approved, then you have to theoretically post it internally for a week.
No, we had a whole discussion that it didn't have
And
to
then
happen,
we
I thought.
didn't have to. I'm not sure. I think just because of pay periods or something, but Robert said, I think it wouldn't become active until November 2nd.
So people get paid Wednesday through Tuesday in town hall?
No, it's November 2nd, what day of the week is that?
Wednesday.
Okay.
Because the 8th is Tuesday, and it's
Right.
either the end of the
Right.
world or, right? So,
Yeah. I have no idea why that is, but it's not till November that.
I cannot, I am without an answer for what possible way that makes sense.
As am I. So,
Okay.
no.
I'm also without an answer about how this makes sense. I don't get what the goal is. So, well, sorry. I don't mean to run on. I know what the goal is. The goal is to say, that adherence to the orders lies with the applicant rather than the current, past, or future homeowner until such time the certificate of compliance has been issued. Okay, so that puts it all in a sticky wicket. So I build a house for Ted and Joan. And Ted and Joan show up, and I build the house in the winter, they move in the spring, and clearly I haven't had growing seasons, I don't have grass, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
So, the options are that if you want to sell an unencumbered lot, you go ahead and put sod down. If you are okay selling an encumbered lot, then you put down, you hydro seed or seed the yard, and you wait for it to grow in, and therefore a certificate of compliance is not going to happen for 2 years, minimum.
Mhm.
So, he's saying that the applicant is responsible for the property, not the homeowner, because the certificate of compliance hasn't been issued in that situation.
Mhm.
No, I don't think we can say that.
Okay, may I make a suggestion? I think this would be a discussion best had when Brian is actually here.
Well, I would agree, because I'm trying to see if, maybe I'm missing something, and one of you
Yeah.
stands up and says, no, stupid, it's this.
Yeah, this doesn't make sense to me
I'm like
either.
getting you, so.
You know why?
No.
You mean-
Doesn't something
you mean the
expire?
boards?
The boards, I mean, yeah, the
Oh.
boards.
No, we do the
Yeah.
board removal in the fall, we've already,
She's talking about the notice of the order of conditions that gives us the permission.
Right.
There was like a
I
4-year,
think it expires.
it expires next year.
So,
Yeah. So we'd have to do something to extend the order of conditions.
Right.
For our
the
usual board
board.
removal. I'm not
Okay.
sure how that was done.
well, I mean, it brings up the other question, which is, we're not removing the boards for the reasons stated in that order of conditions. We're not.
What are the reasons stated in your commission?
It was to control the weeds.
Right. Although it did come up cogently at the.
It did come up at town meeting, that, why aren't we doing that to freeze the weeds, which is true, and we had tried, but we just never had any success. And also, because the dam isn't controllable to the level it needs to be, we can't drain out enough water without draining 3 ponds
Right.
in order to drain 1.
Right. Logistically, it's not
Well,
possible.
logistically, under today's conditions, it isn't possible to drain 1 pond out of 4 connected ponds.
Right.
Not unless we blocked off Sandy Pond, with, sandbags or
Sandbags.
something, and built a temporary dam,
Right.
which I'm betting no one will let us do. Just guessing. Well, that'd be fun to do, right?
We have the power to permit.
Well, we have the power to do a permit that we then have to send to the state, that someone else looks at and goes,
Right.
hey,
Trying to do.
Tom, come look at this. So, I don't expect to get away with that one. Okay, so development of the RFP, we're on the right track. We have the information.
Yep.
And we just need to go back to the old.
Okay. Full.
And it might be worth actually trying to see if we can find somebody else's RFP to see if what they did. You know what? No, don't do that. Send something to, who do you think would have the most RFPs for the towns around here?
I suspect you know the answer to this question, and I'm.
It's obvious. Solitude.
Oh,
Who else would have more RFPs than the guys who answer them?
yeah.
I mean, it does bring up the ethical conundrum on their part about whether they tell us about the tricky ones or not. But still. This one's mean.
Okay.
That would be something that Brian could do. He could reach out to Solitude.
So this is be to fine tune our RFP to.
Just merely to say, we're looking for ways to better define, the weed removal, Have you guys done one lately?
No, not really.
Want to reach out to Littleton's Concom? They did Spectacle Pond, right, recently?
They do. Yeah, they do Spectacle Pond like every year.
Yeah, I think that's every year,
Yeah.
right? Or every other year.
Plus or minus.
And they must do it on their other ponds.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I think they did do it on Long Pond this year, which was disappointing. The areas with the good bass fishing are all down the far back now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
but I think they treated the milfoil. There's a lot less milfoil than there used to be, but there was an awful lot of lily pads gone too.
They sent us a notification that they were treating a head.
Well, they did for Spectacle.
Right.
Yeah, they don't tell us about Long Pond, unfortunately. You would think they would tell all fishermen. All right. So we're all the way down to 815 enforcement policy.
Yeah, and I just read on that one, and
Well, here, let's read the notes. Brian has finished with edits with Eugene, and we'll be sending around a final draft prior to the next meeting. How would the commission like to proceed at that point? Do they feel they need town council opinion for a non-binding guidance document? Any new thoughts to incorporate what will be the final draft?
so my thought was, I think we need to see the draft. the
I didn't see a
final
draft, but I didn't look at email today.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen one either of you. So, okay.
Okay, so pending draft. It's kind of a big deal.
Okay, so hold.
Well,
Yeah,
I liked pending.
yeah, pending.
We had hold on so many other things, it just sounded like we were goofing off.
Okay.
All right. Excuse me.
So 187 Old Farm Road.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure I've got everything in order here. So, is everyone familiar with the saga of 187 Old Farm Way?
Mm-hmm.
So, basically, I saw this email, and I didn't, quite honestly, I didn't understand what the intention is.
Well, looking at Brian's notes.
Well, here, let's start with, there is a memo or brief from David W. Waterfall, which explains why he's in the compliance section. He writes to Salvatore M. Giorlandino, Chief Presiding Officer, DEP, Office of Appeals and Dispute Resolution. And by the way, I nailed that last name. It's Giorlandino. Giorlandino. Dear Mr. Giorlandino, I am in receipt of your decision denying the Air Conservation Commission's motion to stay the briefing schedule pending resolution of the Commission's motion to dismiss. Please be aware that based on the reasons set forth in the Commission's motion to dismiss, as well as concerns related to the Town of Ayer's limited financial resources, the town has respectfully decided not to fully participate in this matter. I will continue to monitor this litigation on behalf of the Commission. This letter is being submitted electronically, will be simultaneously served electronically on the parties included in the attached services. So, that was sent by Mr. Waterfall to the petitioners, Michael and Jean Hoffman Anuta, their legal representative, none stated in their appeal. The applicant, Richard Roper and Brian Stafford, resident agent of Pingree Hill Homes, their legal rep, none stated. Conservation Commission, our legal rep, Mr. Waterfall from KP, and the department, Mary Jude Pigsley, Regional Director, Mariel Stone, Deputy Regional Director, and their legal representative, Elizabeth Kimball, Senior Counsel, Mass DEP, Office of General Counsel, as well as Ann Berlin Blackman, Acting Chief Regional Counsel, and Leslie De Filippis, Paralegal. All those people got this. I'm still stuck on the first sentence. I am in receipt of your decision denying the Air Conservation Commission's motion to stay the briefing schedule pending resolution of the Commission's motion to dismiss. What? I am in receipt of your decision
Okay, that makes sense.
denying the Conservation Commission's motion to stay the briefing schedule. I don't remember asking anybody to stay a briefing schedule, do you?
Well, no, but this
What
all
is-
got turned over to town council to handle on our
What does
behalf.
stay a briefing schedule
I have no
mean?
idea what it means.
Pending resolution of the Commission's motion to dismiss.
Pending.
Okay.
Meaning,
So I don't remember us making a motion to dismiss either.
I think that's tonight. They want us to,
No, they want us to ratify the fact that they sent this letter. I don't even know what that means. Ratify what? So please be aware that I am in receipt of your decision denying the Commission's motion to stay the brief schedule pending resolution of the Commission's motion to dismiss. So what that says to me is that we made a motion to dismiss and then we also made a motion to stay the briefing schedule until that had been resolved.
well, pending means nothing's been decided yet.
Right, pending the resolution of that motion to dismiss.
Right,
So we filed a motion to dismiss and that takes a while to get through.
right,
Blah.
right.
By the way, in the middle, we'd like you to stay the briefing schedule.
Briefing schedule means
I
the
have no idea.
communicate. This
Right?
briefing means to communicate.
The only thing, right, so they pass briefs back and forth to argue, so maybe that's the briefing schedule. So you know what, can we all just stop doing what we're doing until we figure out if you're going to resolve the motion to dismiss?
Yeah,
Please be aware that based on the reasons set forth in the Commission's motion to dismiss, as well as concerns related to their financial resources, we have respectfully decided not to further participate. So if I understand correctly, we're being asked to agree that we as a commission agree with what Mr. Waterfall has done in our stead. So now let's see if that's what this says. David Waterfall writes on Thursday the 20th, Robert, attached is a copy of the letter, no good morning. It's weird. Attached is a copy of the letter we submitted to the DEP last night indicating the town has chosen not to further participate in litigation related to 187. I ask that you provide this letter to the Concom, ask that they ratify this action with respect to the litigation at the Conservation Commission's upcoming meeting. Are you looking up ratify or stay a briefing?
No, I should, let's say, email here.
I see. Robert writes back to us, greetings and good afternoon. So that's how you start a letter. See below, advised and requested that you ratify this action with respect to the litigation. Please let me know if you have any further questions, and would you kindly advise us when we have ratified it. And then Carly, Brian wrote back to the attorney and said, hey, we'll let you know. And Carly wrote, is this on your agenda for Thursday?
Mhm.
Okay. So, my understanding of ratification was like if you had an agreement and you signed an agreement, you ratified the agreement. But there's nothing to sign here. All right. Everybody gets 2 more minutes with their smartphones and then you have to put them down.
Well,
So let's see.
I'm looking at it on.
I understand,
Yeah.
but it's just like at home.
So DEP wants to keep pursuing this, but we, the town, want out of it.
You know why this came up, in fact? Because last night, at whatever the heck the name of the bar is that we were at, there was trivia night, and they said, do you know which was the last state to ratify the Constitution of the United States? The original Constitution. What was the last state to ratify the Constitution of the United States out of the 13 colonies?
Texas.
No.
13 colonies.
I'm only kidding. I'm kidding.
Out of the 13 colonies, which one? Which colony was the last to ratify?
Massachusetts.
That's what some people said, and I thought, at the time, I thought that's
Maybe.
crazy. It turns out Massachusetts was 6th.
6.
The last one, believe it or not, was Rhode Island.
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island.
Wow.
Yep, as they did not send delegates to the convention. Interesting. The first was Delaware, and the second was Pennsylvania. Okay.
So basically, they just want us to say, we ratify town council sending this letter to Mr. Girlandino. You did better than me. Girlandino.
Your last name's Gugino.
Oh, they
All right,
submitted it. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so let's just make sure, and I don't want to be ignorant about this, let's just make sure, ratify a document. Ratification. All right, no, that's about the president.
To confirm by
Ratify, to
expressing-
approve and give formal sanction.
Right, approve,
Okay.
consent.
So it isn't a signature, it's an approval of something. Well, this is exciting.
It's like when we ratify an enforcement order.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it that way, you're right. Okay, so we have the ability to ratify this action taken by town council on our behalf. So, I can read it again if you'd like, or I can ask you if someone would like to make a motion to ratify this action taken by Attorney David Waterfall on our behalf for DEP file number 100-0337 in the matter of the property located at 187 Old Farm Way.
So,
Second for discussion.
And this is ratifying the action taken in the form of the letter sent October 19th.
Look at you nailing all the details down. Discussion.
So if we're then, according to the letter, not participating any further,
Right.
what does that mean?
So
What
do
is
you
the end
remember,
result of that?
do you remember we, I don't know if we were asked or we stated that we were not party to this, that this had nothing to do with us. This was all between the Anutas and Roper.
Right.
And so at one point, we actually said, we have nothing to do with this, and the judge said, "Whoosh, oh, no, you don't," roped us right back in. and said, no, you need to have an opinion. And so Copman and Page got involved and wrote up the opinion that says, no, we really don't. And that's what this is about.
Okay.
So I don't know if you remember, we weren't even, I don't think we were even part of the suit. We were part of the action through DEP, but we weren't part of whatever the other legal action was that was going on.
Yeah. There was one point, they, like a memo of understanding or something like that. In the first request, it was optional whether we participated.
Right.
And so town council said, just don't do anything.
Right, don't do anything at all.
And then something came in later, a few months later, and they said, now it was like, here's a deadline, and we also had to submit.
Right, and I shouldn't say judge, because it wasn't the judge that pulled us back in, it was DEP. Pulled us back in and said, no, you're a part of this. And so this is Mr. Waterfall saying, actually, I don't think we are. Unless you want me to read it again.
Okay.
Check it. So, there's a motion on the table to ratify this letter. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye.
It is ratified.
Are ratified. Okay. Next up, I bet we can clear this in 15 minutes or less. You watch.
Okay.
Next up, Conservation Administrator updates. So on Brian's list, the only other thing that we haven't touched upon so far is 100-0387. He says, Descheng feels they have grounds to push on, but they have until Friday to make up their mind. Won't be settled for sure until next week. So that must be with regard to the, we issued an order of conditions. The state reversed our action on appeal by the neighbors. And so this is them going forward, or hoping to go forward.
So nothing we can do on that, just, it'll be interesting to observe.
It will be. And interestingly, if you read on here, Brian also notes that for 187 Old Farm Way, please ratify the letter. DEP wishes to continue the process as they feel important legal issues are raised by the matter. That's frightening. So the matter may not be dropped even if we do remove ourselves. Based on the last time we discussed it, I don't think you need exec session. Put it on the agenda. I agree the matter will probably continue, but I don't think it has anything to do with us. I think it has to do with the applicant and the homeowner and the applicant's failure to do their job up front and caused all the problems. Next on here, he has erosion control inspection at 9 Bishop Road for adding more soil to pollution control cap. Looks good. They'll put the erosion control in 6 months at their next visit.
Yeah, isn't this the out-of-state?
What's
People-
9 Bishop Road?
Like, Superfund side.
On the
Oh,
railroad.
yeah.
Yeah, and hadn't somebody been tampering with their fencing and stuff? They were riding vehicles over the...
Yeah, I don't know about that. I just remember they asked about it, and we were worried, right? Because it goes right down like it, right down into the water.
But this came up a couple months ago where I think the fencing had been tampered with, and I think people were doing dirt bikes or whatever across.
It's not that much space down there,
Right,
though.
so the people
Wasn't a
who owned
big
it
area.
wanted to redo, I think, the fencing and reestablish that cap.
Well, the long story short was, he visited the site and says it looks good. That was what we were looking for, was a
Right.
visit. Next, Brian, bottom of the list, 8 Hemlock.
Yeah.
Sent that letter Wednesday certified, dropped it off personally. The letter states, unfortunately, so we're gonna have to work on this. This letter has got to state the project address on it somewhere.
Yeah.
Dear homeowner, the Air Conservation Administrator observed construction on your driveway in the morning of October 26th. Small wetland between your driveway and Route 2A appears to have been staked and protected by some erosion control fencing. Office is concerned that you did not bring this project to our attention prior to commencing work. So this asks that he ceases and shows up tonight or on November 10th. So really need to work to make sure that this clearly addresses the property, any other information. In fact, we might even want to make up a template that says, you know, dear homeowner, we observed an issue at this property. Even you know, state the color of the house. I mean, you can't make it any You can't, it doesn't hurt to make it any clearer.
Is this
Address.
Ruth Ayers?
I don't know.
This is that, this is.
Well, this says 8 Hemlock, so this would be one of the folks
Right.
who's moved in at,
And DeShane brought this to Brian's attention.
This is where that little remember that little replication area got
Mhm.
filled in and never got dug
you
out?
think so?
Yeah, it's the same address.
I thought that one was,
Yeah.
I thought Hemlock was the far one. Am I getting it mixed up
This-
again?
This house is on 2A.
Well, then that's not the one that we were worried about. The one that's on 2A is the one that, oh, you know what it is? It was the dirt piles. I drove by this the other day,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're dirt piles.
and I was on the phone, and I saw the dirt piles. You know what? Isn't that funny? I saw the piles up at the driveway, and I said, I wonder what that is, and I kept on going. Because I forgot they have that wetland in that front corner of that yard.
Yeah.
So this
It's
is,
the
I
same
haven't
property.
been by there.
And I
so-
felt terrible. All right,
So they've been notified,
okay.
and Brian has to refine his techniques of,
Making sure that you can understand who the letter is to.
right.
Okay, so that covers all of the administrator updates. Before we get into our committee updates, can we please do meeting minutes?
Minutes.
Now, I actually read these online this time. I don't think I had any questions. I think probably the only thing I had was, I remembered in here that they had done the 10-day permit. I didn't see any emails telling us that he had gone in and filled in the date. Remember, he said he went, handed all the paperwork in, he just needs to show up and write in
Yeah, I
25th.
haven't heard any updates on them moving forward.
Certainly haven't seen them going forward. There was an email from, Kyle. There was an email from Kyle
Yeah.
that they were going to start next week with the removal of the material to put the culvert in, and then pull the dam out after. So they're using the dam as their own temporary dam, right? Everybody see that email?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, they're using the dam as their temporary dam, and then I believe they're starting on it might have even started the 25th, which would have been this Monday,
Yeah.
whatever it was. But the idea was, of course, the beaver dam doesn't go until we've applied for the permit.
Yeah.
This might be worth swinging by tomorrow in the morning.
Swing by Rosewood?
Yeah, I might just go by there.
Yeah.
I did want to talk to him about the enforcement order that wasn't, that was a little bit farther on than we'd like for
I did
230 Snake
mention
Hill.
that. I said that should be a violation notice.
I mean, don't get me wrong, if they were on the pond.
Which I believe is why he decided to go with 8 Hemlock with a more informal letter that wasn't even a violation notice.
So our pendulum needs to settle somewhere closer to the middle. Okay. I have no comments on these, on the meeting minutes from October 13th. Does anyone have any comments?
Brian did note that a citation of Mass General Law, CMR 10, blah, blah, that there was a copyright signal instead of the parentheses C, close paren. Which on my computer, apparently when you type in parentheses C, put the other parentheses and then hit space, turns it right back into a copyright signal unless you go back and re-edit it. It's like, quite a pain. I have made that correction already.
That sounds like something Apple does automatically, just because they're so concerned about it.
Right, right,
See their federal court case.
right.
George, you have any comments? Tash?
Nope.
Ms. Tillotson?
No.
I would accept a motion to approve the meeting minutes of 10/13/2016 as fabulously written by Ms. Gugino.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
10/13. Thank you, Ms. Gugino.
You're welcome, Chairman Daniels.
And we all know that truly you enjoy doing it, so. All right, I did not see any announcements or accounts payable. Did he pass any on to you in a separate folder?
Nope.
Okay. Let's do committee updates. CPC.
We'll be meeting next week.
Excellent. Stormwater.
Nope.
Greenway. Open Space and Rec.
meeting in a couple weeks.
Why did I think that was you now?
Master plan
That's why.
and pond and dam.
Master plan?
No, they met on Tuesday.
Oh, wait, but open space is me,
Oh, open.
Okay,
You're open space.
you're open space.
yeah.
All right.
And we're meeting in a couple weeks, but also, they will be wanting us to write a letter of support for the final copy eventually.
Were we going to see that? Because didn't you
Yeah.
point out how it had our name written on
Yeah, and I
a lot
still
of things?
want the goals to be reviewed by,
Sure.
yeah. I
Okay.
keep saying that, yeah. And we haven't, I think, finished it yet because we have to meet again.
Fair enough.
But just as a heads up, though, they will be requesting comment letters from various relevant town boards in support, so.
Well, we are always in favor of open space.
Oh, also, the one thing I had noted was, one of the things that was discussed the last time, and I came in late because we were here with the Board of Selectmen initially. One idea is to have use CPA funds eventually to create a more quick action purchase
Hmm.
fund to sort of seed a open space, or,
Would it be open after that, though?
yeah, no. But to seed some sort of fund that could be drawn on more quickly.
So you could move faster.
And I believe that in other towns, that is usually administered by conservation commissions. The
Oh.
question would be whether we'd want to take that on or not, as that's refined. But I thought I would just bring that to people's attention. Something to think about.
I guess the question is, would we hold the restriction after it was
Yeah.
taken care of? In which
Yeah.
case, that kind of ties it together nicely.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's that?
We can't hold our own restriction.
Right.
We can't hold our own restriction?
The town buys property, we can't hold the restriction.
Because we own it. The town
The town-
own it. So
the
then
town-
the town can't then hold a restriction on it.
Okay. Let me start over. What happened when we bought Tooker?
The town bought the property.
Sure. So the restriction is
There is
just,
no restriction.
there's no restriction, it's just we own it and therefore we're not developing it.
Although I think the warrant article said there should be a restriction.
Yeah, and if we were to make a purchase using CPA funds, I believe because it's, well, I think that because of the state match component there, I think that would then trigger the automatic requirement to have a CR on any land that we would protect.
I see. So
I
it comes
think.
back to the money?
I know if you get a land grant or some kind of grant like that, it's a requirement because public money is being used.
I see, I see. So the real question is, where's the money come from?
Yeah, so
So it's like
now, of course, you
everything
could
else.
also use that fund to buy a restriction on a piece of property. that
Right, right, right,
someone
right,
else
right. In which case we
own.
would hold it and that would make sense.
Correct.
Sure, sure.
Mhm.
I don't think we've paid for any restrictions in the past, though.
Mm-mm.
And I wonder if you get the tax benefit if you get paid for the restriction. Probably not.
You get some kind of credit or yeah.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be, I guess the only person who could tell you which is more lucrative is your attorney. Or your-
Exactly.
Okay.
That's cool, Jess.
Hmm?
That's a good.
Well, if we get there eventually.
Yeah, no, it doesn't sound
We're
like
not
it should be
there.
us.
Yeah.
So master plan?
They met Tuesday, unfortunately, I could not make it.
No, fortunately, you were part of the voting public.
Well, that was Tuesday.
That was Monday,
Oh, it was Monday.
yeah.
That was Monday.
Oh, you were just goofing off. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Do I have my days all wrong here?
It's been a really long week.
I know it has. So Alan, I think, has taken over as chair of that's what I was led to believe or told.
Alan,
Alan
Community development, community and economic development.
the man who spoke.
Minoyan, yeah.
Minoyan,
He
right.
seems very enthusiastic. I think he
Yes.
will be good.
Yes,
Jolly even.
Yes,
yes,
that too.
yes, but I plan on attending the next one. Pond and dam, no updates, but you and Chuck did a great job.
Well, actually, it was
You know, you worked together and got
it was
done.
interesting that it was just I remember when I got up there, it was just a totally different feel than some of the past years. There wasn't the animosity that, we had felt in the past. And so it just felt like it made more sense to just go quick and be off the cuff and
Yep.
be done. Didn't make
work.
sense to, there was no impassioned plea
Mhm.
needed.
Yep.
I don't know. Just-
The town meeting is mellowed.
It has, but you know what? I would also tell you that it would be interesting to figure out what the stress of this election has done to people.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you literally have to be under a rock to have missed, the hate speech and everything else that's been going on. It's just dragging. Painful to think that it's another, 10 or 12 days, whatever the hell it is.
12.
Unbelievable.
Mm.
Anyway,
Mm.
I particularly like the threats of continued obstruction regardless of the outcome of the election.
that's my favorite.
Anyway.
That and the senators who are already lining up so that they can start the committee hearings to go back after all the stuff that's already gone over. So it's, your money is no matter to them.
In the impeachment hearings.
Right, starting now.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see the cover of the New Yorker?
I don't
The
think we
recent
should
cover of
keep,
the
I think we
Yorker?
should probably wait until we're after.
Yeah, probably. That usually goes bad.
Yeah.
That's all the committees.
Okay.
Member update?
Well, just one, I guess Robert wants to meet with Brian to talk about where his full-time job is now going, to which I told Brian, and I also then told Robert. So any sort of discussion about where the job, now that it's full-time, is going, should be done with us.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah, I guess I'm lost on why he would have that discussion with Brian.
Right, it should be with us. Or it should be, so it's possible what we might want to do at some point in the next month or two is have Robert and Mark Wetzel come back in
Mm-hmm.
and
Mhm.
and discuss,
Mm-hmm.
because, Mark had made that suggestion that he could use Brian to inspect stormwater basins when he spoke before the Board of Selectmen in support of our request, and
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, the idea would be if we got 5 days, I would think that one full day, well, however it's broken up, is in the field.
yeah.
Do you have any
So-
feedback on that? Howard, do you do anything like that?
No.
Okay,
I do my
Mhm.
field work as needed,
Yeah.
basically.
sure.
However, I would say one of our next agenda, when Brian will actually be back again, is we probably should put as a discussion item how we see, even before bringing in Robert or anybody else,
Mhm.
how we see the position evolving now that it's full-time,
Mm-hmm.
so.
Well, I definitely want to, so, I don't know if you remember, one of the very first things that I wanted Becky to do was to make a spreadsheet of all the open orders of conditions and figure out how to solve them.
Mm-hmm.
And that is actually now nearing completion with the,
Patrick? Steve? Alvin? I can't remember his name. So,
I can't remember. The guy who's doing the filing and he's doing the spreadsheet, so we actually should, that should be actually coming to fruition,
well, and it just needs to be picked away at.
yeah,
Just make them go away one at a time, knock them off.
yeah.
Should be able to get within 3 years. We should be able to say, the commission started in 1984 and we're up to 2010. Should be at least be able to get somewhere close.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd also say this is our opportunity to make any tweaks to the job too, like to say, look, now that it's full-time, there's plenty of time, any sort of RDA that comes before us should be a site walk before we even
Right.
discuss it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Get right out
To
there.
get, whether, it doesn't require anybody delineating wetlands, but just to get an initial
Mm-hmm.
field view.
Right, and the other thought about that would be to say that if somebody comes in and says, I'd like to do an RDA, if we have 5 days a week, then the answer should be, you know what? Before I accept this, I'm going to go walk the property with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because,
Yep.
and then say, you have the opportunity to file an RDA, but having seen your property, I think you need an NOI, and I
Mhm.
think the commission will agree, so
Mm-hmm.
don't waste your time and money on an RDA, why don't you
Mhm.
come back with an NOI?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
That would be helpful, because I know Becky did that in at least a couple of
Right,
cases.
so that's, this gives us an excellent opportunity to have those, have
Yeah.
that discussion.
Yeah.
So I'll ask him to put that on our next agenda. And I also just have to remind myself, when are we,
Are those last week's meeting notes?
so we're next meeting on
November 10th.
November 10th, and then the following Monday, November November 14th. We decided at our last meeting to have a
Oh.
special meeting from
Oh,
just 7 to 9, just on the bylaw.
oh, right.
So we'll remind people.
Oh,
of
right.
that.
So the 14th?
Yeah. Mhm.
Air bylaw meeting, 1900 to 2100 hours.
Right.
And that's interesting. 11th is still Veterans Day. It's a Friday.
The 11th? Oh, my 64th birthday.
Happy
Don't
birthday.
say these things. I'm hoping I spoke softly there.
Wow. Well, someone just has to make you a
theft.
cake.
Identity theft.
We could have cake on the 14th.
We could. Or the 10th. We could do
We
pre.
won't stress this a bit further. Forget I said anything.
It's impossible. And it's already in my phone. All right, so
Cupcakes and then cake.
although I didn't put down the year, I just put down November 11th. All right. So, yeah, 10th, 14th, perfect. Do you have any other updates?
No?
Jorge? Takashi?
Yes, of course I do.
And so she goes on to her last.
So I go on and on. Okay, so the current residents of the Tucker property?
Okay, next to the Tooker property, you mean?
No, the house. It's the house that the Tuckers live in.
This house down here?
No,
Um,
Pine Meadow.
So which was the
Conservation
Tooker's
area.
house?
Was it
It
Tucker?
was nearby there, wasn't it?
Was it up
I
on
don't
the
know.
hill? Up on the hill?
Yeah, but that's a new house that got built after. Are we talking
No,
about
I think
there
where,
was-
where the actual Tookers lived. right?
Yeah, where the actual Tuckers
not the
live.
fake Tookers?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay,
Oh.
we'll step back. Okay.
Are you on Oak Ridge Drive?
On Oak Ridge Drive, as you go down, past my house, go down the hill, and then up the hill, the house on the left, up kind of on the hill,
Okay.
that
Oh, is
is
this just before the parking area for going up that trail?
after,
or just-
right after.
Coming from.
So the
your
one
house?
right
Yes,
after the
coming from-
parking
oh,
area
okay,
is the
that's
brand new
after.
house. That's not where the Tookers lived. That's
Yeah.
that's a new house that was built after.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So anyway, the
Yeah.
residents in that house are worried that the sheds, there are two sheds on conservation land that are being used by a neighbor. Originally, there was paint in there, paint cans and paint. They don't know what's in there now because they haven't looked in a long time. But they're worried that about the sheds. And I said that I would bring that up in a meeting,
We haven't looked at those sheds.
and we haven't looked in those sheds in a long time.
Way back when,
6 years.
at least, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was 6 years.
So they're worried that
They're worried that
illicit activities are taking
yeah,
place?
activities that are taking
Yeah.
place maybe in the sheds and storage of things in the sheds. They're just worried.
You should have burned those sheds down.
It's burned out.
Okay, so the sheds are on our property, town property.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where we
Okay.
don't hold a restriction.
Right.
So, okay. Well, poop.
Well, how do you spell that?
It's with two
P,
O's,
O,
a P, and a E with an accent mark at the end. Poop.
Hmm.
So the only thing we can do at this point is to, so when this came up the first time, there was a discussion about dismantling them, hauling them away, getting rid of them. What do we do with them? Could we use them for our own purposes? Blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
And of course, there was no our own purposes. And the guy who used to live in that house that you're talking about was storing wood in there, even though we told him not to repeatedly, because he was a jerk.
Then I think the police told him not to. And then he
Yeah.
stopped.
And then he snapped.
Well, that was it.
Stop.
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 That was the only way we
Stop.
could get. We kept on telling him that it wasn't his property,
Mm.
and he kept trespassing until finally we had to get the police involved.
Mm.
It sounds like that's the right thing to do here.
Mm.
So the only thing I can imagine is that we talk to Chief Murray and
Mm-hmm.
tell him what our problem is.
Yeah.
We should go up and look first.
Yeah. little hike up in there.
Yeah, it's true. We don't know if they're delusional.
Mm.
All right, so
Mhm.
I don't know. Is anybody else going with me on Saturday morning? Anybody going to
What's-
Holyoke?
Holyoke,
Holyoke? Yeah,
Oh,
Holyoke,
MACC?
Holyoke.
Holyoke.
No, no, no.
Holy.
Holyoke. They used to have there was a commercial on when they'd tell you to come to the mall. My little sister went to Westfield State, and it would be on as come out to the mall in Holyoke. Yeah, it was on the TV. Anyway, this weekend is the MACC.
Right, I'm not going.
No,
But
maybe
you're
not.
going this year?
You're going?
I'm not. But I'm curious. So there's an alternate pronunciation of Holyoke?
If you're a local, it's Holyoke.
Holyoke?
Holyoke. Holyoke.
Holyoke.
Holyoke.
Oh,
Holyoke.
Well, that's actually, I guess that's kind of in keeping because Petersham is pronounced Peterzam by the people who live out there. The Z,
Peter's
Years.
there.
Peterzam.
In Medford,
Peter Zam?
Medford,
Well, that's a whole other Meffa,
Medfa.
Meffa, right?
yeah.
Yeah, you don't like it, go to Quincy, huh, kid? Yes.
Rabia.
No, this could go on all night, and we were going to be done in 15 minutes, and we've blown it out of the water with all Jess's updates. All right,
All
so
right.
Sheds.
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 So I can't go this weekend, and it's supposed to be, I believe, I don't want to use the meteorological terms, but I think it's going to be icky on Saturday morning.
Not Saturday.
No, all right, Sunday.
Gonna be nice on Saturday?
Yeah.
Nice on Saturday.
That's when the town trick-or-treating downtown event Saturday. So
No kidding.
that's why I'm not going to
Sure.
Holyoke.
Trying to get all that candy in.
Try to keep her away from candy as much as possible.
TV. TV and candy.
Trying.
You know, I can't help but say it every single time. You do remember the backlash effect. There's a backlash effect.
We let her have a little bit of candy and watch a little bit of TV.
I'm just saying. You can't lose with princess movies. I'm just telling you. I personally am still enamored by Cinderella. So,
You get that?
You're right.
so,
Personally, am still enamored with
so
the
are you
enamored-
folks interested
Yes,
in
it
going
is.
on Saturday morning to go look at the sheds?
Go for a hike up in there.
See?
Or a
Good.
run or something.
Okay. I have to leave by like 7 to be there for the 9. So, actually, I'm probably gonna end up leaving at like 6:30.
All right,
So,
so,
unless you want to go at 6, and it will be dark, so it wouldn't do us any good.
so you can't.
Or in the
But you can-
afternoon. Afternoon.
It depends on time. But
Well, what time does trick or treating start? Can't be at 8 in the
I
morning.
believe
So if you guys went at like 8 or 9 in the morning, it might work out for
Yeah.
you.
So if we went at 9 in the morning?
that's dance, but I guess I can skip dance.
Oh,
Well, won't you feel badly if you don't practice?
well, when does dance go to?
9 to 10.
9 to what?
10.
10:30?
I can do it before or after.
10:30?
Yeah.
Okay.
You kids have a good time. Send me any photos by text.
So meet
If
at
it's-
Oak Ridge at the kiosk.
You see anything wildly out of bounds, please feel free to call the police right then.
Take pictures and
Take pictures
get
and
the evidence.
10:30.
10:30 at the kiosk.
don't you want to enter it in your smartphone?
I can bring my dog for protection.
I don't actually
She
use
would
it.
like she would like them for a
It's just
walk.
a box with buttons.
I know.
It's over there. Okay, I've got the dog for protection.
Okay, so Bonnie, anything else?
No, that's
That was the one big one?
that's the big one. Yeah.
Do you
Motion.
recall
George.
our Eagle Scout?
Yeah.
His first year,
Robert?
yeah, Robert, he mentioned that one of his ideas was to do something with the shed. Maybe next
Interesting.
time he comes,
Oh.
see if he had any specific ideas.
Oh, maybe he can change his project.
Instead of doing the bridge?
He had several ideas, one was
Oh,
a
okay.
bridge and one was
For
to do
bridge,
something.
yeah.
Bridge has wide public
If he has a
use.
good idea, maybe we find another Eagle Scout to do it.
Yeah.
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 Maybe
It's
he
true.
can
Yeah.
use the material from the shed to build the bridge.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't remember what the buildings were made out of.
I only really remember the three-sided one. I don't remember the
Yeah.
enclosed one all that well.
The big one was off the ground, like a pole barn.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure that's because, I don't know if you're familiar with this, and I'm only rudimentarily familiar with this, but apparently a pole barn is a non-taxable structure. Like but you can make a pole barn, so a shed is non-taxed because you're 12 by 10 or under 120 square feet, whatever it is. But you can make a pole barn like 60 by 60, and it's not taxed because it's a pole barn. Yep. Apparently a Czechoslovakian barn is fully taxed. You were about to make a motion?
To adjourn?
Oh, good idea.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you and good night.